It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. All that and more coming up next.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And leading the charge, we get a look at their 6-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Namath. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Here's the Jets punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Patriots take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man in his 23rd NFL season. Still doing it at age 45, Tom Brady.
And at one point, he announced to the NFL world that he had accomplished everything he needed to and was going to retire, but then reversed that decision. And I think everyone who likes football loves the fact that he's still out there throwing it around and still at the top of his game. In a career that's seen and accomplished just about everything, he figured there's always room to add to that legacy.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Given 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Brady going to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Morgan. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Second and 2. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 33. That one goes for 24 yards.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. Dillon, they try the left side with him, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you talk about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Brady. Buying, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
Name it to throw on first down.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the gun, a give to Martin. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Okay, 2nd and 1, you get nothing. What now on 3rd and 1?
Sorry about that. I was so excited I jumped in on you. This is almost like practice to me. Line it up and do it again. You didn't get it right the first time. Just get right back on the ball and go. It doesn't matter that they know you're coming. You ought to be able to pick up this short yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They run over center with Martin. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Namath.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Here's Namath.
He's going to air one out, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. On the previous play, he got sacked, set him behind the chains. This time, he just tried to chuck it long.
And this is one of those plays that defensive coordinators derisively like to call the chuck and duck. Throw it up there and hope, because you're about to get smacked in the pocket.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. He finds his man, complete. That's Morgan. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They give to Dillon out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. To throw, it's Brady. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From midfield, here's Brady. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They'll give to Falk up the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Brady. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. To throw is Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught.
And the Patriots are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
You'd hate to come all this way on a sustained drive like this and then have to settle for a field goal. So what a nice pickup on 3rd down. And now they're set up with 1st and goal.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Here's Brady to throw. to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Running up the middle, here's Dillon. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Brady. As a man, and it's Edelman for the Patriot touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Patriots are on the board first here this afternoon. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That was the veteran Jamie Collins busting through to make the stop.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing is Namath. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Namath. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
What's the deal, y'all?
Now Namath.
Drops it off to Martin.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Let's roll. Let's go. Hey, what we got? Let's go, y'all.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Namath to throw.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 4. He doubled down. He wound up getting 8.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They'll get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, it's Namath.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Draw play. This is Martin. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
The defense has been on the field a long time now, and after a run like that, they've got to feel like they're almost on roller skates and getting pushed backwards on just about every snap.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Draw play, Dillon.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a give inside for Falk. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Let's roll.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Wide open receiver, complete.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Let's get him. Come on.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Brady.
He dumps this off to Dillon underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Second down at 5.
From the gun, it's Brady. Open man, puts it on the carpet, it's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. There he goes, right side, and he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Tom Brady and the offense back onto the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10.
Now a play fake. Brady. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. There'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Now the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Brady looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. So the completion gets him just a yard. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, That worked quite well for the defense.
The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45.
And the Jets will take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Throwing middle, and it's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
They'll try the middle with Martin. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
He'll drop to throw. Goes underneath to Martin. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The Jets on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Namath.
And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Brady going to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down. Throwing now is Brady. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Brady again. He finds his man, complete. It's Moss. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And he's got Edelman on the out route. That's complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Brady. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down.
Shotgun now for Brady. It's complete. He finds Falk here.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort turned it into a successful play.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. To throw is Brady. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will knot us up at 10. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. On 1st and 10 now, Namath. And this will be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Namath.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, though. Let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for New England. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Baby.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Well, the Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
To the right side, this is Dillon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
But that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Now they'll throw with Brady. Open man, Gronkowski complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Nowadays, this has become routine, hasn't it? That was a heck of a route there by the tight end. A great double move for a big-time catch downfield.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Brady. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Now it's Brady. He's got it complete to Gronkowski. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
On play action, it's Brady. That's going to be caught by Moss. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
What's the deal, y'all? It's one play at a time, baby. You know what we mean, baby. Let's go now, let's go.
Brady to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Patriots! From 6 yards away. And the Pats have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down, Martin able to slither by. And some room to work. That good for 19 and a first down.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. Name it to throw on first down.
And Walker has it.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And a 10th carry here for Martin. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Name it to throw.
Steps away to his left. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On play action, now Brady. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Brady to throw. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Again, they'll throw with Brady.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I would describe the way that he's played today as mature. He's already moved on mentally from that incompletion, and he's more than ready to throw his next pass downfield.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Morgan. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 21. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Again, it's Brady. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Here's 2nd and 9.
From the gun, it's Brady. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown! From 19 yards away.
And the Patriots have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Now for the point after. And the lead is up to 14. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
And New York set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Namath. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Martin. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Play fake, now Namath. Rolling to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Namath. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. New England trying to get a place on offense. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Brady now on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. That's what it is.
5 yards remain on second down. Now Brady again. And he'll just get rid of it.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
It's one play at a time, baby.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Brady now to throw. Man open, it's Moss, complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 15-yard line. Three quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. We get set for the fourth quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. They still kick. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now a play fake. Brady. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Brady going to throw. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. To throw on first down is Namath. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets us in just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On first and 10 now, Namath.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
To throw is Namath.
This complete to Martin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now Namath.
And he bats it away. It falls down complete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, it's Namath.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
They got to lock that one, baby. Let's do this, man. Let's go, baby.
Here's Namath.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So the drive will indeed continue. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Throwing again on second down. Namath. Being chased out left. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield. Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and a Patriot touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is now 24. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And the Jets set to take the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down, Namath. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's rock and roll. Oh, let's do it. Let's go, baby. Let's do our thing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Give them 32 on the play. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, You tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Another try after the 1st down sack. Namath. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Back to throw here. This is caught. Touchdown, Jets. From 6 yards away. And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
They'll try and run it with Martin. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. You know, we've discussed this before and we've seen it at practices. Extra periods being put in for the offense on these 2-point tries. But the defense, they're beefing up their support as well in practice.
They absolutely have to. If people are going to go for 2 and try and gain those advantages and make it tougher on your team as the game goes along, you have to be in a position to stop those. You can't let them get the advantage. So yes, the defensive teams, they're putting in that extra time on 2-point plays as well.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is secured by the Patriots. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Brady gives now to Blunt. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now Brady. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And the Patriots are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now Brady. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, 4th quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a touchback here as Walker will sit on this one. So out now come the Jets. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the draw, here's Martin. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Let's go, baby. Let's have some fun.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Namath to throw. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Namath. And it's complete to Martin. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Namath to throw on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing again on 2nd down. Namath. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
And quickly, they get to the line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So the penalty rightfully declined. They'll keep the yardage on the completion.
Still some disagreement by the defense, though, because he thought that was just good, strong coverage, and the contact's going both ways, so why is there a flag? In the end, though, doesn't matter. Still a completed pass.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Namath now from the gun. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.